Hello, hello. So, welcome back to Living Wisdom. And this week episode is going to be about the cultivation of certainty to tap again into faith, right? And why we are in this life journey and it gets so hard. What is the reason of that difficulties that come into our life? At the end of everything, it's those opportunities give us the chance to correct itself to become more of the light, right? That's one of the Kabbalah principles. That is what we call the tikkuns. That are the specific corrections, distortions that our soul chooses to have in this experience in order to correct itself to go to the ultimate purpose that is the desire to become more of the light through its own individuation. So we can say that the ultimate purpose of creator and ourself is to reveal the light in a unique way. Tapping back into this, how we can go back to this space is through the process of certainty and faith. That's why Yeshua, Ben Joseph, our brother, he always remind about faith. I was watching the series Chosen, and in the Chosen, if you realize, if you watch it, I really encourage you to watch it. It's a very good series where it tap into Yeshua life, right? And you get to know him more in day-to-day basis instead of just imagine how was it. But if you realize, he always mentioned faith. The core of his preachings and his talks was about faith, how we get to develop that faith in God, in Creator, in order to move forward into life. And his disciples always were tested through that faith, even when they saw the miracles, even when they saw him walking in water, they still doubting. So the question will be why, even when we have facts, even when we have proof and tests, we keep doubting. We keep always giving that space of doubts. It's because we have the human programming and we have other energies working in this space that always brings you back to the space of doubts, of fears. And that's what we call the opponent. You can watch the past episodes about it. But going back to this episode, it's about recognizing the opponent and the functionality of the opponent and how we can transcend that opponent. So going back to faith, it's even when we have proof, even when we have knowing, there's always a space for the doubts, right? So the question will be, it's how we can cultivate more faith. Faith is the ultimate knowing of the light, that everything is light and everything's happening for a reason. We just need to trust that reason. And we need to develop that faith and certainty that everything is from the higher. And we are walking with God. We are walking with Hashem. So this is the journey of life, the cultivation of faith, becoming more of the light of the Creator. And by becoming the more of the light of the Creator is the process to develop that knowing that everything that happens in our life is for a reason, that everything is there to showing us something and to reveal something, and everything it's gonna transcend into the light eventually. All souls are gonna evolve into the light, no matter if they take 10 lifetimes, thousand of lifetimes, or just one lifetime. All of us, we're gonna go to the light because that's our seed. But the process that Yeshua speak about in his preachings, it's about developing the faith, trusting God, putting God first. And that's something that I invite you to integrate, as I am integrating as well. It's how can we put God, source, creator, before me in everything, in everything in our life, in everything that we do, in every process that we walk, every challenge, every adversity. and every business that we're building is how we can put God first, no matter what. How we can put the light first, reveal the light first. That's everything. And now that we are in these times of technology, now more than ever, it's important always to remember the core of everything that we are building, businesses, project, our life itself. It's how we can cultivate that knowing of God. And when I say God, you know that is the creator, ultimate pride light, whatever you want to call it. But it's how we can cultivate that straight connection of knowing that we are that and we trust our own process. So it's the letting go of the control of the ego. And the ego don't like that. The ego always wanna create that resistance and sense of knowing. But when we start cultivating the process of letting everything to God, putting God first, the ego start understanding that there's a higher source controlling everything. There's a higher intelligence harmonizing everything. So the ego start easing. It's a process. It's a process of death to resurrecting to God. Even when you go to the story of Yeshua, when he got before crucifixion, he may doubt a little bit, but his faith was so strong that he knew that he was with God, that even after his death, he was able to come back because it was in the knowing that he's the light. I am the light. I am the light with God, with the Creator, and everything is for Him. Everything is for the purpose. And that's something that the entities don't like because the entities are just so focused in the material world of me, 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 me. What about me? That they don't want to give up that sense of self to something higher and be of service of something higher. And our ego thinking about that. What about me? What about my projects? What about my desires? But if we go deeper, the deeper desire is to become more of the light, to become more with God. And all the desires will be fulfilled in the highest form. So the process is not to fulfill our mundane desires, but how to fulfill the prophecy of God for that to say. When I say prophecy, I'm not going to religion or dogma. I'm saying the service to reveal the light into the world. That's what the Kabbalists we call it Tikkun Olam, the reparation, the revealing of this world. And now in those times that it's so important to grasp into this because we have technology, we have AI. So how we feed that AI, it's part of are we feeding with our shadows or are we feeding it with our light? And it will depend the feature that we're choosing based in the actions or reactions that we're constantly doing. So by knowing this, it's important to go back into the source of your purpose is to reveal the light. So how can reveal the light every day? In my relationships, in my shadows, in the things that are hard for me to see, to recognize, to accept. Procrastination, temptations. All of these things are there for you to reveal the light, to tap back in faith, even if it's hard. That's why we touch then the power and dynamic of prayer. That prayer, based on these principles, is not just about asking God to change your circumstances, but it's asking God to help you reveal the light in those circumstances. Because there's a reason why you experience that. There's a reason why you choose that. Sometimes it can be tricky to see the light. So that's what we're asking. I'm asking to help me reveal the light, not to change the circumstance. Because the circumstance, it will change as we recognize that darkness and the light within that darkness, and we start the process of tikkun, correcting that darkness, accepting that darkness, seeing the lesson, the experience that we have to get from that situation. Once we know all of this, you see the life start flowing. And even if you have challenges, even if you have doubts, your faith start being cultivated in a space of knowing that you are the light and you are one with God. You are the reflection of God. So everything in your life that is happening as you walk of the knowing that God will have your back, nothing can touch you. And that's the intentionality and the spirit of David. When he faced Goliath, he was in such knowing that whatever happened, God is with him. That he trusts the faith. He trusts the will of God. And after he killed Goliath, the knowing of God was even deeper because he felt God. He felt the support of that light. So sometimes we need to face those fears. And God is with us. The light is with us. We are light. But until we don't go and execute and act upon those fears that are containing the light, that are blocking the light, nothing nothing is gonna be revealed. And we're not gonna feel the support of God. It's because we are not activating the faith. We're not activating that inner power, willpower that is in us to define that faith. So this is a process as you start building up your projects and your life. It's ask yourself every day, how can I cultivate my faith? How can I surrender to the will of God every day? What do I need to do? Do I need to cultivate my knowing? I am being reactive to situations. What are the things that blocking my faith, blocking my knowing? How do I feel right now? Do I feel stagnant? Do I feel tempted? Do I feel the loss? Do I feel all of these lower densities of matter? Why? Please help me to reveal the light within those circumstances, because those circumstances doesn't represent myself. It's just a mirroring that is reflecting me something that needs to be corrected in order for me to perceive the light in a higher way. Because we are just being able to perceive the 1% of the 99% of possibilities of creation. So how we can start cultivating the light to see beyond that veil? It's through the process of faith. Even when we are blind, even when we don't see the whole picture, God is everywhere. And that's the ultimate goal of realities, becoming more of the light, be able to perceive the light everywhere. So I just want to share with you this episode is about the cultivation of faith, knowing that you're here to something higher, and in the process is how you can cultivate your faith in everything you do. It's about becoming. So it's not just doing. We first get to be, then to do in order to have a new result. But if we do first and we think that by doing we will have, we are lacking the being. Or if we think that we need to have first to do something, to be something, we are changing the algorithm of creation. It's about becoming the light. And by you becoming the light, it's through the cultivation of your faith. And through that cultivation, you will do the right things through your actions and no reactions. And you will have the results that are aligned with that light. So it's a process of always surrendering to the light, knowing that we cannot see the whole picture. We're just seeing the 1% of reality. That means that if we trust that everything will be light, everything is light, and everything is well, and we are covered a higher mission to repair and correct this collective way, everything is from the Creator. So that's the process, is the trusting. So I just want to leave you with this: is a cultivation, cultivate your faith, trust, and trust the light. Trust the light, trust God. Trust and cultivate that faith within yourself, within God, that everything that you're passing is for a higher reason, that the light is there to be revealed. And everything that you do is putting first the light, putting first God, and guide me, because I'm tired of trying to control, to trying to know. I prefer just to be guided into the light, right? So yeah, I just want to leave you with this. Thank you for your time. All the prayers and blessings to you. And as a reminder, we had our first Kabbalah Foundation, and we're gonna have the next one the next month. Also, we're creating a platform online for future partners if you want to cultivate and collaborate in events. Also, your courses, we're creating the Shimbala platform that will support that. So I'm gonna leave all the links here. You can apply. We're gonna get together one on one, see your vision. We're gonna share our values, where we're moving forward, and how we can start building together. Also, if you wanna be part of the membership program, yes, you will support the vision. Plus, you will have access to all this limitless um, content, courses, and the sanctuary that is coming soon. The Shimbala sanctuary is something that we have been cultivating and is coming. So, yeah, blessings. I'm so excited and see you in the next one. Shalom.